Hello, my name is Kenneth Holloman. I am doing my midterm video for my college algebra class, course number 12589. I have two problems here that I'm going to work out. This first one is on page 64, problem number 31 in our math link. And in this particular equation, what we need to do is we need to simplify this equation, ultimately get the value for x. Once we find the value for x, we can check the problem by inserting whatever x equals to into the initial equation to see if this is a true statement or if it's a contradiction. So first, I'm going to start out by using the distributive property here. We're going to multiply 3 times x and 3 times 4 in the rules of distributive property. So that's going to give us 3x. And then you have 3 times -4. That gives us a -12. We bring down the -5, the equal sign, the -9. Essentially the rest of the problem. And then the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to focus on the x's on this side here. Let's erase these parentheses here. I'm getting confused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract, because ultimately what I want to do, I want to get 5x on one side and then a number on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both of these here. So -2 minus -5, that's going to give us a 3x minus 9 equals, as we bring this down, it's going to give us 3x minus 12 subtract 5. So the next thing I want to do, I want to, we could do this two ways. We could add 9. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my 3x here as well. So I'm going to subtract 3x here, subtract 3x here. That's going to make this x minus 9 equals -12 minus 5. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract -12. What we're going to do this, we're going to focus on this problem here. So I'm going to use my calculator because I'm horrible with negatives. -5, that's going to equal a -17. So now we have x minus 9 equals -17. So what we want to do to get x along, we want to add 9 here, add 9 here. These cancel each other out, so we have x equals, and again using my calculator, -17 plus 9, a positive 9, is going to give us a -8. So that x equals -8. So what we next thing we need to do here, I hope you can see that. The next thing we're going to do is we need to make sure that find out if this is a true statement or whether it's a contradiction. So what we're going to do, we're going to insert -x, -8 into where we see x at. So we start back the equation. We're going to say 2, -2 x, which is -8, plus 5, -8. Hope I don't run. Yeah, let me start over here. I'm going to run out of room. I'm going to erase this problem. I think y'all got the first gist of it. So let me just erase this. And just start over here. So we do know -8 equals x. So we're going to substitute. We're going to do 2 -8 plus 5 -8 minus 9 equals 3 -8 minus 4 minus 5. So we're going to do just like we did the first time. We're going to start off with the distributive property here. That's going to give us a -24. That's going to give us a -12 with a -5 On this side here, we're going to get a positive 16 plus a negative 40 minus 9. Right? All right, so at this point, we just want to start, I guess, canceling out, so to speak. So the first thing I'm going to start off with, negative 40 minus 9. That's going to give me negative 49. All right, then we have 16 minus 49. And then we have, we're going to do negative 24 minus negative 12. We're going to do that one first. So negative 24 minus 12. That equals a negative 36 minus 5. 16 minus 49 equals a negative 33. And then negative 36 minus 5 equals a negative 41. So after going back and checking this problem and inserting a negative 8, negative 33 does not equals a negative 41. So that makes this a contradiction. I hope I spelled that right. So that's for problem number 1. Again, on page 160, on page 64, problem number 31. The next one we're going to do is, I'm sorry, forgive me about the page number. I can't remember what the page number was. I think it was 186. But the problem we're going to do, it is 6x plus 5y equals 30. Now with this problem, we need to graph it eventually, but what we need to do is we need to turn it into slope-intercept form first before we can solve it. And we all know that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we need to move this problem around to get into slope-intercept form. So y in this case will be the 5y. So we're going to start off reforming this or rearranging this, equals b is going to be 30 in this particular problem. So we're going to put 30 plus, and then of course the mx, and m representing the slope, and then of course x 6 is going to be the slope in this particular instance, and then x is going to obviously equals x. All right. So what we need to do now, we need to get y by itself as we already have it. So what we're going to do, we're going to divide negative 5 equals negative 5 minus negative 5. I'm sorry. Or we're going to divide it, I guess, so to speak, of course, across the board. Sorry about that. So that's going to be negative 5, 6x over negative 5 plus 30 over negative 5. These 5s are going to cancel out. So y is going to equal 6x over a negative 5, or could also be written as y equals negative 6x over 5. These are going to divide the negative 5 into the positive 30, and that's going to give us a positive 6. All right. So in this case, This is now in slope-intercept form. 6x over 5 is the slope. 6 being the y in this problem. I'm sorry. Yeah, being the y in this problem. The y-intercept. And then the slope, of course, is the 6x over 5. So this is your slope. This is your y-intercept here. Hope y'all can see that. So our 2 points at this point is going to be 0 and 6, with 6 being y and negative 6x over 5. Now this is your slope. We all know your slope is m is equal to rise over run. Okay. So m in this case, of course, being your slope. So if we was to graph this here, hope you can see this. We got our y-axis, x-axis, and then we got our points. Our negative points here on the x-axis, positive points here on the x-axis, positive points on our y-axis, negative points on our y-axis. So the first we're going to start off, we want to find our point. So we know 0 represents x. So we're going to start here on 0, represent x, and we want to move up 6 slots. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's where our first point is going to go. Now we need to find our slope. And again, our slope in this case is 6y over 5. I'm sorry, 6x over 5. I probably don't say it y a bunch of times, but I'm sorry, 6x over 5. So rise over run, we want to go down a negative 6 or down 6 spaces on the x-axis. So bring us back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring us back to 0, and then 5 being our other point in this particular. So we will move over 5 slots. So that would be our run. So rise was our negative 6, and our run is 5. So we want to run over 5, positive 5. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where our other point would go. So we will connect these. So our overall slope again is the negative 6 x over 5. And our points are being ultimately 0 and 6, which for the y, and then as we know, 5 represents the x point. Okay. All right. So I guess the answer to the question of this problem would be negative 6, 5 is our slope, and you see it graphed. I hope I answered the question. I know it's kind of a long video. Again, my name is Kenneth Holloman, and thank you for watching.